What up, nerds? This is your Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, and today I want to talk to you guys about why the MCU Phase 4 is not as bad as many claim it is. Now, as of recently, I've been noticing a lot of people complaining about the MCU, especially Phase 4 of where everything is going. And I gotta say, I don't get what the hell is the hate for MCU Phase 4. I mean, it's all continuity at this point. For the first time, we're actually getting what we want, which is stories behind the characters we have never known, like, for example, Wanda, Vision, Bucky Barnes, the Falcon, Agatha Harkness, Monica Rambeau, Doctor Strange, Captain Carter, Kate Bishop, Kingpin, Hawkeye, Spider-Man, Shang-Chi, Loki, Morbius, Venom, Kang the Conqueror, just to name a few, and people are still unsatisfied where the MCU is going from here on out, which is kind of obvious at this point where it's going, which is basically the multiverse. Multiverse war, if I can even go there. And I know others are not gonna like this because they want different stories. They want things to be a little bit more down to earth and real. I get that, but I feel like the shows have been doing that not all the time. Not all TV shows and movies are going to be doing that all the time, but I feel everything I've been watching lately has been alright. I'm not going to come out and say that, hey, every Marvel TV show is a 10 out of 10. No. Before I get into any TV show or Marvel movie, first, I must be hooked up. I must be interested, invested into the character who I'm going to be watching. For example, WandaVision. It had two of my favorite Avengers, Vision and Wanda Maximoff. I was cool with that. Going with them was a hell of a journey from the very first time we saw them on Age of Ultron up to now. Like I said, I was really invested with these characters. And I went ahead and watched the show, and I gotta say, it was probably one of the best shows I've seen. From beginning, middle, and end. But it just doesn't work if, for example, you don't like the characters, you're not giving them the opportunity to get to know the characters, and the list goes on with that. But I was already liking the characters to begin with from a very long time. And was I disappointed what they did to them on Phase 4? Absolutely not. Vision, he's gonna come back sooner or later. Wanda, probably gonna come back too as well. Because like I said, there are many more Marvel movies yet to come. I think it more like, it's not a goodbye, it's a see ya later for now. Which doesn't really bother me, to be honest, because then I got other Marvel TV shows that I can watch too. I got Loki, I got Moon Knight, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Hawkeye, and I'm cool with that. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys saying that I didn't enjoy these shows. I'm gonna be real honest with you guys. These shows weren't as bad as many people claim it was. Just as long as it told a good story that I can actually keep up with, Most importantly, interested. Because without any interest to the character, then why the hell are we here watching these shows and movies to begin with? But then again, people call out the subplots and everything like that. And you know what? What Marvel movie or TV show doesn't have plot holes? I could just name a few movies right now and it has a bunch of plot holes. But you know what? Sometimes I just choose not to think about those kind of things, Because if I start thinking about those things and I'm like, oh, you know what? They could have done it this way and all that stuff. Not all movies are perfect, guys. Sometimes I don't even think about the plot holes at all. Yeah, sure, I look back and I'm like, oh, let's say, for example, in the movie Iron Man, why didn't the terrorist organization just stayed in the room at all times to make sure Tony Stark was building the suit? And here's another one too. Why didn't Obadiah just simply destroy the ceiling and have Tony fall to his death? Or Iron Man 2, why didn't the senator just took the suit when Rhodey had possession of the Iron Man suit and just took it to S.H.I.E.L.D. so that later it could be given to Hydra agents and then they could replicate the suits of Iron Man. So as you guys can see, these are just very few examples of the MCU and its plot holes, or I could even go a little bit further by saying, like, why didn't Loki just simply stab him or something, Or why didn't Thanos just simply come down and took over the earth, But then I'll have some stan coming up to me, well, since Thanos, he has a plan, and see, like I said, I just don't want that, because then I don't want to have to tell them in the face that these movies do have plot holes. Some, most than others, Oh, here's the big one right here that everyone talked about a lot. Like the Eternals. Why didn't the Eternals go and stop the whole massacre of Thanos and all that stuff? Like, there you go. That's the biggest one right there. But like I said, plot holes for me, I could be bothered less. Am I going to pretend they're not there? Of course not. I know that there are issues and plot holes, and mostly all these movies that have came out just recently, even in the TV shows as well. But it doesn't mean it's gonna ruin the whole show for me. I'm not gonna come out here and make a video say how much I hate the MCU and all that stuff, why and cry about it. No. I don't judge a book by its cover. Until I don't watch what the content is, I can't say anything about it. And I can't convince somebody else who's watching this saying, oh, don't go watch Moon Knight because it sucks. It has woke shit, it has political stuff, whatever, don't watch it. Who the hell do I think I am by telling others to not go watch a show just because it has this or it may have that and all that stuff? Otherwise, I'd be just looking at myself like an idiot just talking here to you guys right now. Being the biggest hippo in history. But like I said, the MCU Phase 4 is not as bad as many people claim it is. And I understand too that it may have some woke ideas and some political stuff too. Believe me, I hate that shit too. I hate when they go that route. Imagine if we didn't had any of that stuff, everybody would be happy, right? No, because in the end of the day, people are always gonna complain about something. You can never satisfy them no matter how hard you try. But then again, this is Disney though, so might want to tone it down a bit. And all I've been seeing on the internet is people saying how Phase 4 is the most confusing piece of shit I have seen in my life. I don't want to watch the MCU anymore. Blah, 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 blah. Man, so much negativity, you know? But where's the positivity about where all this is going from here on out, you know? Yeah, I may not like some things from MCU Phase 4. Some things I could say, you know what? This is a good idea, you know? But then again, there are some things that I don't like as well. And I'm not lying to myself. I'm gonna say that the MCU Phase 4 is the worst thing to have ever happened. Oh, no. There's still some good in it. You know? Like, for example, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I actually enjoyed John Walker. I enjoyed his sidekick. I actually didn't mind Bucky Barnes, Sam. I actually enjoyed all those characters, you know? Well, that is, of course, you get to the last episode, however, but it was still a good show, you know? Maybe could have made the villain a little bit better, you know? Maybe no sympathy or anything for the terrorists. And then it would have been a better show, you know? But overall, there were still some good moments. Would I watch it again? Hell yeah. Same thing with WandaVision here as well. From seeing WandaVision manipulating her world and her reality, just to find that the twist was Agatha Harkness was the one who pulled the strings the whole time. I dig that. I don't mind a twist here and there. You want to pull a good twist? You want to pull a Shyamalan? Go right ahead. I dig that. Just as long as the build-up is good and that it's unexpected, bam, that's how you do it. And I love that. I live for those moments like that. You want to disturb me in some of these episodes? Go right ahead. You do that. Make me feel uncomfortable. That's why I liked WandaVision. The characters that we solely love have been turned to the dark side and are lost, and we're wondering what they're going to do next. And it's all about investment, as I said, my friends. I was invested with these shows, and I understand too if you're not invested too. Like I said, not everything the MCU puts out on Phase 4 is going to be everyone's cup of tea, which I totally respect that. Some are even down to saying that having a multiversal war is not a good idea. But hell, I look forward to that idea. I look forward to see Kang the Conqueror finally showing up on screen. And it's all because of Loki too, because like I said, I was like, who the fuck was Kang the Conqueror and everything? And you know what? After I was done with Loki, I went to do my own little research of who is Kang the Conqueror and everything, and he was an interesting character too, as well. And now I'm excited to see where they take his character in the next coming MCU movies. But let's say we were talking about the Eternals horror. Oh no, that movie was just... Oh man, that was a cringe fest, honestly. I can't believe I actually managed to finish that movie. I couldn't remember all of their names, to be honest. Eternals was just a disappointment, to be honest. I guess the only good thing about it was just the visuals and everything, but everything else was just like, it was painful to watch. I was more interested in the other things that they did, but you know, concept was there. It was bad, just really bad. And since we're on the topic of terrible movies, we could add Black Widow onto there as well, because yeah, that wasn't really my cup of tea there. But we could say that there was one in the MCU Phase 4 that we can all agree on that was really good. Spider-Man No Way Home. Oh, and Shang-Chi too as well. That was a really good movie there as well. Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness was alright as well. TV shows were alright as well. WandaVision is still my favorite. I like Loki. I think my least favorite would have to be The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And you may be asking yourself, like, why the hell are you still invested in these movies and TV shows and everything? Because like I said, I just love these characters. You know? I like seeing comic books coming and being adapted to real life. I like that. I like the idea of seeing these Marvel comics come into life. I haven't read the comics, I've only watched the movies. And like I said, the movies, I think they're great. I'm happy to have grown up with the Marvel films as a kid and up to now. I've been watching Marvel movies my whole life, and Phase 4 doesn't fail to disappoint me. You know, maybe anyone who could watch this be like, oh, I could relate to this guy. You know, maybe not everything in Phase 4 is as terrible as it is. You know, maybe it has a direction and all that stuff. And as many of you have argued, maybe it's political, maybe it's woke. Like I said, I don't like that stuff too. But when you put aside all that cheesiness, all that woke stuff, whatever, just on the side for a bit, you actually start seeing a Marvel comic to life. You actually start being invested with the characters. You actually start seeing actual connections to the character. And that's what I like to see. Cameos, references. That for me that's nothing, you know. Yay, it brings up my heart to see some familiar faces come back to the MCU in Phase 4 or whatever, but shouldn't have to be the main focus, which I understand is why a lot of people don't follow up with what's going on in Marvel, and I get that. But if you see what I see, you would understand why I'm still going with this. It's not just about hype and nostalgia and everything, or about trying to get a cheap reaction at the movie theater and get everyone to clap like it did as a stadium and all that. No, it goes more beyond that. This is about heroes versus villains, good versus evil, going with these characters on their journeys that we can all relate to. And when we're near the conclusion of the journey, another door opens for a new generation of heroes and villains. So far, the MCU Phase 4 heroes, not bad. I'm actually quite impressed because I like to take the opportunity to learn more about who these characters are, and I want to know their stories. I can care less about woke ideas, political bullshit, the race of their color, their gender. I don't care about that. All I really care about is a really good story, plain and simple. And I feel MCU Phase 4 has delivered on that, whether many people see it or not. And if you don't see it that way, then what can I say? You know, I mean, I can't convince you in any other way that characters are good and all that stuff. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. So all I'm gonna say is that I have to respect your opinion, and that's pretty much it, you know? Hell, there are people who are already done with the Marvel. They ended it after Endgame, and that's it. They're not watching anything else that's coming after Endgame. That's pretty much it. And like I said, I will tip my hat for you because like I said, we already had a good journey with Captain America, Tony Stark, Thor and everything. I'm just gonna hang the gloves right here, you know, and I respect that. But for those who are continuing the journey into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, who are continuing the stories of these heroes, and all I can say is, buckle up, baby. We're in for a ride. Cannot wait for the next upcoming Marvel movies and TV shows. And the next one is near my birthday, actually, believe it or not, guys, and that's gotta be Thor Love and Thunder, which I will go see. Same thing for She-Hulk as well, which comes out on August. So all I can say is I'm ready. The question is, are you ready? Because I am. And just to conclude, I just want to say, what do you guys think of Marvel Phase 4? Is it good? Is it bad? Let me know in the comment section below. I want to hear your thoughts. What else to say? Then thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And most importantly, take care, y'all. I will see you guys in the next video. And may the force be with you. Peace out, my friends. Peace out.